Good evening, Cosmic Explorers, and welcome to another week of Cosmic Insight. As you can see, my awesome co-host Rebecka Gregory is out, and she is off on another adventure. Who knows where? Rebecka, she's always up and out to new adventures, new beginnings and endings, and ebbs and flows. So I wish Rebecka the best and awesome adventure that she is having this weekend. And of course, when she comes back, she's going to have to tell you guys all about it. But let's get into it, shall we? So, welcome to tonight. Welcome to this night's show. And tomorrow is the 11/11 portal energy. And we are potentially already feeling some of the effects of that for those of us who are tuned in and connected to this energy. We are feeling the effects of that. So this energy is open. It's an 11 day. So that means that we are stepping into a new beginning. And really stepping into that beautiful space to allow us to connect to our higher selves, to other spaces within ourselves, and to unlock and to remember the true essence of who we are. And I say that because we are teetering back and forth between third dimension, fourth dimension, and glimpses of fifth dimensional energy. And it is in these glimpses that we can see the potential, that we can see the chaos, that we can see the order of all things. And it's important to really understand what that means right now, to see the order and chaos of all things. And last week I mentioned it just a little bit. So if you guys want to go back and catch last week's show, it's kind of interesting how we the topic that we talked about. So the chaos and order of all things, and how we get glimpses of this now, especially in our space-time energy. How it plays out in our physical space with everything that is happening, from the financial system to the wars to everything that's happening. And before I get further into this, I just want to take a moment here to say hello, Bella. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight. And yeah, it's interesting in how, in order to bring order to a physical space, we have to understand the disorder. We have to understand the disorder and how it functions, and really begin to see the functionality of disorder, to see the functionality of things that are not working, if you will. And with the energy of disorder, things break apart, and it goes in this cycle. We have order, and then we have disorder, and then we have order again, or order, chaos, order. It goes in this cycle because as we move through the energetic frequencies, things work for so long, and then those things no longer work, which creates the energy of chaos or disorder. And then we have to strip away what doesn't work and bring order to that space-time energy. And how do we do that? How do we bring order to all things that no longer work? How do we move into that? How do we step into that? And it's simply being the observer of all things. And when we are the observer of all things, we begin to take slow action, to take action for self first, because we are important. We are the ones who matter. So once we, examine self, look at self, be the energy and the witness of self, and look at not just our life, but our body and all aspects of us, to then begin to see What is working? Okay, we understand that exercise works. We understand that diet works. We understand that meditation works. We understand that all these tools and resources, they work for us until they no longer don't. Or we get bored and we have to change things. And it just happens that way. It's just a natural progression. And in this space of this natural progression, things begin to not work anymore. So it brings disorder to that. And so, what is the first thing? And I want to hear from some of you guys who are watching. And thank you again for tuning in tonight. What are some of the things that you started to notice in your own life in the recent months that no longer work for you, or that you feel has created a sense of disorder for you? And as these comments come in, I'm just going to keep going because I really appreciate the value of wanting you to know, to feel, to see, to hear, to connect to what is of value. And in the space of disorder, and for me personally, you know, I can't even think of a thing right now that is of disorder. Not saying that everything is in orderly fashion or smooth. It's not. But it's interesting when I have to think of an example, and I can't think of one. If Rebecka was here, she probably would trigger me into thinking of something like, "Oh, just like that." So, which is the interesting dynamic of our relationship. I say something, I trigger her. She says something, she triggers me. But um, when we find those triggers, when we understand what these triggers are, when we feel that space, time of disorder, when we know what no longer serves us, what do? Sometimes we fall into a state of uh, motivation of, okay, I'm going to do something, I'm going to take action to clear away whatever this is, whether if it's, exercising. This is a really good example because, when we go to the doctor and we, have our examination and we get the blood work and things don't come back the way that they're supposed to, we then, have to begin to take action to improve our health because things are out of order physically. So we do something to match that frequency to bring order back. And this is with all things. And this is just on a physical level that we sit in the space of really taking stock, take an examination of what it is that we have to bring order to our life, to our livelihood, to things that bring peace, to things that bring happiness, things that bring joy in who we are and what we do, and just really have that relationship and understand that, just like yin and yang with these energies, these dualities, there's always going to be one side and the other. But it's the one that you pay attention to the most is always going to come to the light. It's always going to, or in the darkness, whichever one you want to focus on, whether if you're one who worries or one who stresses or one who lives in anxiety or fear, whatever it is, whatever your focus is, that's where you're going to live. And that will be your order. What is order for you may not be order for someone else. And in the space of order, you have to allow for that rhythm. You have to allow for that cosmic rhythm, the cosmic beat of your heart to speak to you, to live in that space, to live in that joy, to understand what it is for you. And what is order for those of you who are tuned in? What is order for you? What does order feel like? Does it feel like love? Does it feel like peace? Does it feel like you can relax and live in life? Is that order for you? Just like having a clean home, there's nothing like walking into your home and having everything clean and in its place, having order. And that's what order triggers. Order order triggers this energy of lightness. It brings this energy of accomplishment. It brings this energy of peace. It brings this energy of serenity. It brings up these higher vibrating feelings. And like I said, what is order for some may be chaos for another, or disorder. And it's okay to have that, because it's our space in which we live that brings us comfort. And it doesn't matter what your space looks like. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. Doesn't matter how one else perceives it. All that matters is how you perceive it, how you feel. And I just want those who are watching to really understand that, regardless of everything that's going on outside of yourself. We tend to get sucked into all of that that's going on outside of us. And yes, my sympathies to everything that is happening in the world. But if you are unable to take care of self, if you are unable to connect with self, how can you honestly be of service to someone else? How can you honestly be of service to anyone? I mean, granted, there are people who volunteer and do other things to feel like they're doing something, to feel that they are being of service to the world, and I commend them. I congratulate them, because they are possibly in the best and highest position emotionally to do that, to be of service. And if you are not at that best and highest level, how can you honestly care for another self or another person, or volunteer? And sometimes when we do that, and I'm just bringing in this energy as it comes in, sometimes we see it as a distraction, not to deal with our own stuff, to get our own house in order. We go out into the world and we do all these amazing things, and say, oh, I did this, and no, I did that, but you come back home, and home is in chaos. Home is in disarray. Home is in disorder. You know, and just want you guys to sit with that for a minute. I mean, go out into the world, do all these amazing things, whether it be for, and mostly for other people, at your job, wherever. And you feel like you've done something, but yet you come home physically and energetically, spiritually, and home is in disarray. And I'm not just speaking, literally. I'm also speaking metaphorically in this instance, because the home, the spirit, is where we all live. This is just a representation of who we chose to be when we arrived in this space, in this place. It is that energy that we chosen to be, to connect with. And so, how do you bring order to your chaos? I want to hear from you guys. How do you bring order when you feel chaos? How do you, and it could be, it could be physically, it could be metaphorically, as I'm speaking here. It's in these instances, it's in these streams of consciousness, of really being that, and sometimes it could be challenging to balance the energies. One day you just think, throw your hands up or just be done and let the shit hit the fan, because it's that energy, it's that chaos. It's like, there's nothing more I can do. I'm gonna just let it all burn down. But yet, when you burn it down, you have a great foundation to start with. Yeah, there's a little bit of cleanup here. There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but the ashes, the remnants of what was, It's also the foundation you can start with, because you know what worked, you know what didn't work, and you can now begin to plant the seeds in this very deep foundation that can support the levity of what you wish to create, because the light is much literally lighter than the chaos. The chaos is dense, the chaos is heavy. So when you have a support system, it's good to have that support system of chaos sometimes to support you, because you've been through it, you know it, you understand, you can navigate through that energy. And when you have that as a foundation, you have something good to stand on, because you say, I've done this, I've been through this, I see this, I know this, I feel this. You know, that's why some of the things that we do, we keep in the basement. You know, that's why the basement of our homes, of our soul is the strongest. It's the depths of humanity, it's the depths of who we are, because things are there that no longer serves us, but yet they can support us in our dreams and our visions, our goals and our desires. And if you guys get lost in me bringing this up, ask me, slow down, because I need to understand what this is. And it is in this piece, it is in this foundation that beauty comes, and where order blooms. You know, I had no idea what I was going to bring forth this evening. And as you guys know, when we do these lives, we don't know. I don't know what's going to come up. And so it's just a message for humanity to hear, you know, that yes, ride this energy of this ebb and flow, because that's what it is. And it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to have these emotions. But know who you are at your core. Are you living in chaos? Are you living in order? What space are you living in? And whatever space you living in, are you contributing to the well-being of the collective? And if you are in the space of chaos, in the energy of anger, anxiety, fear, whatever it is, we contribute to the collective in some way in the energy that we live. And so this is why I choose to live in the energy of love, to do my best every day to live in peace, to live in joy, to live in harmony with self, because I know that energy is contributing to the collective to assist in the frequency and the raising of that frequency of the vibrational presence that is me, the vibrational presence that is you. And when I am me, I am you. And we are all the same. We are all one living in this energy. Yes, we are individuated parts of source consciousness, hence the collective, hive mind, mentality, if you will, if you want to go there. But when we are all vibrating at the same frequency, it's just bliss. So how do we get there? How do we get from this space of disorder and chaos and back into order? What do you guys think? How do we get there? I want to hear from you. How do you think we get there? How do you think we get from this chaos and disorder to order again? And it's just the energy of really understanding what it is and how do we get back there. And right now we are in the transition of getting back into order. There's going to be a couple of more years, honestly, before we get there. But we're on our way, because we're going to have a much stronger foundation to stand on, because we will know, we will feel, we will understand, we will sympathize, we will empathize. And that's the biggest magnet for humanity is empathy, hope. When we empathize with one another, when we feel hopeful and even sympathetic, even though sympathetic is a step down in vibration and empathy, because when I feel, you feel, and when you feel, I feel. And it's in that vibrational oneness where great things can happen. And when we, you know, begin to ignore or stop looking at, oh, well, that didn't work, or that didn't work, or that's happening, and this is happening, and all of these strange things are happening. What's really happening? And ask yourself, what's really happening? Should I focus on the chaos that is happening, or should I focus on projecting on the end result? And the end result is a stronger world, a better world, a world filled with love and harmony. What is your focus? What are you guys paying attention to? And I tell you that sometimes it hasn't been easy uh, to really focus on the energy of peace. You know, because what does inner peace look like? And it's different for everybody. It's different for you, different for me, different for everyone who's watching this in this moment, in this infinite moment. And so it's in the beauty that we resonate with, the beauty of our heart, the beauty of our experiences, the beauty of our presence. And so, with that, dear one, I know I've been talking for like 20 minutes straight here, and I thank you for your participation in this monologue. If Rebecca was here, it'd be a dialogue. And you know what? I noticed that I tend to go off a little bit deeper when I am by myself, when Rebecca's not on. She definitely keeps a little bit lighter than I, and we have these introspective moments. And so I miss her being on tonight. But it's in this space that we allow ourselves to thrive, or allow ourselves to be present and to live and to honor that, to honor the peace that is in you, to bring order to your space, whether if it's physical, mental, spiritual, whatever space that you have to allow yourself to bring order to, find that and ask yourself, what is it that's out of balance? What is it that I have to bring order to? And right now, there's a few things for me personally that I have to bring order to. Just being truthful. There's this energy that we all have to balance and fine tune. It's like an instrument. We always have to tune our instrument, because if we're laying around idle doing nothing, it gets out of tune. And so when we practice, when the instrument is played, even when the instrument is played and it's and singing a song and emanating this high vibration, sometimes we have to take a break and retune ourselves. And so give this time to retune your energy so you can bring order to it. Bring order to the frequency, order to the vibration, order to self, because that's what's most important. Is bringing order to self. And I'll share something with you guys. One of the things that I started doing last week, and the list keeps growing, and I keep reflecting upon it. But I started a list, and it's called What is Important to Me? And so I challenge you guys to begin a list of what's important to you. And on top of my list is peace. And then underneath that, other things that are going to, I feel, will help me to have that peace. And it just goes on and on and on. So, what's important to you? So, guys, just put in the comments what's important to you. Oh, wow. Susie, I love that. I love that. So, thank you for that. And welcome to you, and giving my best to Patty and all the energy uh, for wellness for you and him. I appreciate and love you guys dearly. But some friends, many years I no longer resonate with, which is hard to come to terms with until I realize it is due. Yes, exactly. It is in that energy that we sit in and bring chaos or bring order to the chaos, excuse me. And then Deborah, thank you, Deborah. Yes, finding so much peace watching the birds. Yes, exactly. And it's in the interaction of nature. It's in that energy that we harmonize with these frequencies, with these vibrations to bring forth our own energies. It's the inspiration of the universe, inspiration of the galaxy that we resonate with to bring forth our truest desires. So, yeah. But while I'm thinking about it, you guys, I also want to let you know that I know it's slow moving, but the universe has things that are in divine order that, we are still tuning for the new show, getting everything together to make sure it's ready for you guys, make sure that it's ready for us, to be ready for you. And it's going to have some interesting little tidbits. I'm not privy to give away yet, but if you saw last week's show, you saw a little sneak peek, and the show Cosmic Insight will be renamed in 2024 to Beyond the Ordinary, and this will really help us be prepared for what is to come, beyond the ordinary, because it's in that energy where everyone and everything becomes extraordinary. We have this belief that we are all extraordinary, do all these amazing things. And that's what, going back to tonight's topic, that's what it is when we bring order to disorder, to chaos. It's extraordinary, but it's a cycle. So let's break the cycle, at least for 1,000 years or so, and create a space of order, of peace, and harmony within. Until next time, beautiful one. I love you all so, so, so much. Thank you for tuning in this evening, me and my higher self. Feel the beauty that is in your soul. Allow that energy to come up and greet you. Allow this energy to resonate with your beingness. Allow this energy to guide you to cleaning house, to bring order to your energy, order to your fields, order to your mind, order to your actions, order to all things that make up who you are, and bring order to those who you touch, who you connect with, everyone within a 3-mile radius of where you are, and everyone that you connect with in a 3-mile radius, and them a 3-mile radius, and those who they connect with another 3 miles, and so on, covering this globe in this beautiful harmony and this energy of love, peace, joy, happiness, whatever it is that is sitting on your heart that you wish to physically see and feel happen on this planet. Allow for that energy to sit, to assist you, to guide you, to hold you, to nurture you on such a profound level that the only thing that exists in your field, in your heart, in your mind is peace, is love, is joy. All the things that are important to you, all the things that make you feel good, all the things that make you happy. Allow for this energy to serve you as you are served this consciousness, this source, to experience yourself in so many ways. The expansion of this energy has been beyond great, has been beyond what has been expected, and allowing you to sit in grace, knowing that you are a reflection of the culmination of experiences in this collective oneness, allowing harmony now to begin to reign, where we are all satisfied with our lives, where we are all in great and perfect health, mentally, physically, emotionally, monetarily, allowing our bank accounts to be full so we no longer have to stress or struggle with whatever comes into our space, allowing us to live in joy and happiness and in harmony, allowing us to live the way that we are meant to truly experience life and all the joys and our freedom and sovereignty, allowing the light of your soul to guide you, to connect you to the beauty that ever is. Till next time, beautiful souls. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. Till next week, or maybe next time we pop on. And thank you, Susie, Deborah, Bryce, Bella, everyone who has tuned in and beyond.